What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure 1994 here, and it's Thursday, October 6th, 2022. And for the first time in almost a week, the skies finally cleared up. And the sun came out finally today. And for almost a week now, like ever since Friday night into Wednesday, we've been dealing with the remnant of Hurricane Ian, which was the monstrous Cat 4 hurricane that wrecked Cuba and Florida. Yeah, the entirety of Florida got hit pretty bad by this thing. There's been a lot of flooding, a lot of wind, a lot of homes getting destroyed. It was chaos. And a lot of Florida lost power thanks to this thing. And Cuba saw a lot of damage too. This thing was a monstrous Cat 4 hurricane. And this thing also caused a lot of destruction in South Carolina. Yeah, there was a lot of flooding in South Carolina, in North Carolina. Yeah, there's still a lot of people in Florida right now that don't have power, but the power situation is slowly improving, which is a good thing. So I hope everything goes back to normal soon in Florida. And some of the power outages in Florida are slowly starting to improve, like day after day. Yeah, they're really starting to, everything's starting to get back to the way it was. There's still a lot of people that lost power in the hard hit places, but it's slowly improving with the power problem. And that's a good thing. And hopefully Florida will get back to normal pretty soon. Everything goes back to the way it was down there. And Puerto Rico is starting to get their power back too. I know it's been almost 3 weeks, but Puerto Rico's not really good with power restorations. They could be out of power for a very long time. I mean, remember Hurricane Maria? There were some people in PR that had no power for almost a year. They lost it in September, and then they didn't get back to July or early August the following year. It was just crazy. So power restorations are improving in Puerto Rico and Florida from Fiona and Ian. Yeah, a lot's going back to the way it was. And Ian is finally done impacting New York from its remnants. Its long-range remnants that have been here ever since Saturday into Wednesday. Yeah, we saw a lot from this thing. We saw heavy rain, some gale force winds to 30 and 40 miles per hour in gusts. It's been pretty breezy over here. And it's been getting cold over here too. Yeah, and we're now going into a cold front. And it's supposed to be very chilly on Saturday. In the 40s and 50s. Yeah, so Ian brought in some flooding and some heavy rain and some gale force winds, and it brought in a cold front too. And it's in the 60s right now, I think. I don't know. So I'm grateful to say to you guys that Ian is finally gone for good. It has moved out to sea last night, and it's gone for good, thank goodness. No more nasty Ian. And to tell you the truth, of all the damage it caused, I don't think Ian deserves to be a hurricane name in the 2028 season. I hope they retire the name Ian due to what this monster hurricane has done to Florida, the Carolinas, Cuba, and have its remnants flood the Northeast almost. Yeah, we saw a lot of rain for days. The sun did not come out at all. Yeah, the sun didn't come out tomorrow, Annie. It was crazy. Yeah, so Michael and Bridget in South Carolina and Angry Grandpa's family, they saw Hurricane Ian too. They saw the effects of this thing down in Charleston. It was insane. If you look at their Hurricane Ian video by Kid Behind the Camera, you can see that there was a lot of flooding being done, and the winds were picking up, the rain was coming down. It was crazy, and it got really muddy too. And in one of the neighborhoods, it looked like a stream. And the power in their house kept on flickering. It was just crazy. Yeah, so Angry Grandpa's family was in this thing too. Yeah, they were also hit by Hurricane Ian. It strained back into a Cat 1 hurricane when it made landfall in South Carolina. So I hope everybody's recovering from Hurricane Ian, especially for those who live in Cuba, South Carolina, Florida, especially in the Northeast. I hope everybody's recovering from this thing. I know things have been crazy over here for the last several days. Ian really hit the Northeast with so much rain. But it wasn't really as bad as Ida was. Ida was the worst. Ida was the one that put New York and Philadelphia on the water. And now that Ian's remnants have been here for several days, I guess you guys could say that Ian was our 2022 hurricane. Yeah, but we only have like a month and a half left before hurricane season's over. We don't know what the future could bring for the rest of the hurricane season. But I know there is a tropical storm that's likely to form north of South America, and it could impact Nicaragua. We're going to have to keep an eye on that hurricane next, as it moves like past north of South America, and it's working its way west toward Nicaragua. Yeah, we gotta watch that system. Potential Tropical Cyclone 13. That's the one we have to watch next before it hits Nicaragua and Costa Rica and all those other countries near Mexico. Yeah, we really have to keep our eye on that thing, especially you guys that live over there. Yeah, since Ian's remnants hit here for several days, I guess you could say that this was our hurricane of the year. Ian gets the medal for the Hurricane of the Year of New York, because this thing brought in heavy rain, gale force winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour, and some flooding. Yeah, it was just crazy. The reason why we've been these remnants for a few days is because that system was stalling out in the ocean, like south of us. And it took forever for it to finally move out to sea. And now it's history, completely. I am so glad to be out of the woods from this monster hurricane. So it turns out we got our main 2022 hurricane. And hopefully no more come over here, especially because it's getting too cold now. And the temperatures are dropping like crazy now. Yeah, it's starting to get cold up here. I told you, we're going to a triple La Nina, guys. And we're looking at a really cold winter, which means more Arctic air and more nor'easters over here. So I believe this is going to be a crazy winter, especially for going to a triple La Nina. Yeah, this is crazy. Ian hit Cuba, it hit Florida especially, it hit the Carolinas, it hit the Northeast with its remnants. It's crazy. And thank goodness everything is slowly going back to normal down there. Disney and Universal opened up like Friday and or Saturday last week. Thank goodness. Since the storm was out of the area by then. Yeah, so Disney and Universal are back to their work again. So, yeah. And the power is slowly coming back on for Florida. So, good riddance for Ian. And I think its name's gonna be retired due to all the damage it caused. And all the death it caused. And I guess that's it. Bye.